Ray Caputo, reporter for WDBO News Radio 96.5 in Orlando. Ray, this is round 2 on second-degree murder. What happened in round 1?
Well, actually, it didn't end too well for Mr. Ward. He was convicted of second-degree murder, and he was sentenced to 30 years in prison, which basically means he was going to die in prison given his age. And he spent 5 years in prison before he won this recent appeal to see another trial.
So let's put up the timeline of Bob Ward's last decade or so, because it has not been a good one for him, and it certainly has been a bad one for Diane. She died in 2009. That was the date of the shooting. In 2011, as Ray just reported, Bob was convicted. But in 2016, he had his conviction tossed out. And now here we are, 2018, and here we go all over again with trial number 2. Ray, why was the conviction tossed out?
It had to do with Bob Ward's lawyers not objecting to things that shouldn't have been admissible in court, mainly anything that pertained to his right to remain silent. There were a lot of references. In fact, there was like 25 references in his first trial about things that his lawyers should have objected to. So the judge determined that there was a reasonable suspicion that this was going to affect the trial, and they ordered a retrial.
So what's important here is that it was the technicality that we often see. You know, when you ask for a lawyer, that's your right. That's not supposed to be held against you. And in trial number 1, it looks as though the courts agreed it was held against him. So boop, out it goes, and here we go again. But it's not as though some exculpatory evidence came in or someone walked through the back door of the courtroom and said, I'm the one. I mean, it's not like that in this case. So can you take me to the actual crime and what he said happened and what the prosecutors say happened?
Yeah, you know, Ashley, with this story, there's 2 people that really know what happened. One of them is dead. Bob Ward's the other one. And you know, his story is that he really didn't have much time to react. That he approached his wife and saw a gun, and he tried to pull it out of her hand, and everything happened so fast. And according to Mr. Ward, there wasn't even any words uttered. Now, on the other side of it, the prosecution and a lot of evidence points to their version of events that there was some sort of fight. There was a broken wine glass. There was actually wine that was spilled on Mr. Ward's shirt. And the fact that his wife was shot 18 inches away, that's what they estimate, which doesn't sound like a suicide to me. So, you know, on Bob Ward's side of things, he says it's a tragic accident. The prosecution and evidence points to the fact that they were both drinking, and it could have been an accident, but he intentionally shot his wife to some extent. You know, he knew what he was doing. He picked that gun up. So he deserved, you know, second-degree murder charge seems to be fitting in this case.